One day, I'm gonna see her at a pool party, and I'm gonna look fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like a god. And so two of them are unhealthy. If you look at it on a spiritual level, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it eliminates the need for an overall purpose.
I got the page up here. It's currently sitting at 169,572 subscribers.
Yeah. 10 times, or you're gonna be given something that's gonna be life-changing. And it's up to you if you want it or not.
What's the intro?
Yeah. So I got the page up here.
Go ahead and we're live. That's going on the intro. I don't know how to do an intro.
On a program called Chocolate
Yo,
University.
Winston, how'd you get those quads of yours?
Nobody saw that coming. That's gonna be on the intro. Nothing against people who smoke pot and skip class. That's how we lost a whole bunch of episodes.
I just studied in Dubai. I was like going around with one of my friends in his
I got a
Lamborghini.
bad feeling about this.
Hello and welcome to the Lifr podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, welcome to the second episode of Lifr podcast due to technical difficulties. I'm not going to tell you guys how many times we messed up, but just know we did. Today we have on Marc Aranibar. Did I say that correctly?
Aranibar.
Marc Aranibar.
Yes.
We're going to cut me saying it wrong so I don't look dumb. Just kidding. And so Marc Aranibar, basically, I don't know, miniature god.
Miniature god.
This guy, I've known him. Mark, when did we meet?
I think we met around, FBLA. FBLA, I think, was the main.
So ninth grade?
No. 10th. I want to say 11th.
11th, 12th. Okay.
You guys informed the crowd of what FBLA is.
FBLA is Future Business Leaders of America. If you know what DECA is, or what's another? I guess you could
just those two.
You could compare it to 4-H, but business and not weird. And most people are general normal size. But so I've known Marc for about 4 years now. And basically I've just seen him do a lot of impressive shit, and this guy puts forward a lot of effort, and I'm like, who do we want on Lifr podcast? And me and Sam were sitting around, and it's people who have a lot of effort, and they put in a lot of effort, they put in work, and there may not be anything special about them. I'm not saying there's nothing special about Marc, but they're distinguishing themselves in ways that many people don't. And with that, Marc, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh yeah, sure. So, 19, currently a sophomore at the University of Arkansas, majoring in computer engineering, and that's the general school stuff. But on the other hand, I'm a YouTuber who is at the head of the Scattervolt YouTube channel. I do a lot of really cool tech stuff, and right now I'm sitting at about 170,000 subscribers if you round it up, because it just crossed 1,600. It just crossed 160,950.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was just at like 160. You're moving pretty fast.
Yeah. No, I'm on the goal is to get about 10,000 subscribers per month.
Per month?
And so in order to do that, I'm going to hit about 200,000 by April, and then 300,000 by the end of the year.
That's impressive.
So,
I like that.
That's a lot of people.
What's your plan for going through that? How do you say, I want to get to 10,000 subscribers? That's easy to say.
Yeah.
How are you doing it?
So there is a way. It's just you got to be consistent, and that's the hardest part right now, because YouTube combined with college is such a time waster on top of my other commitments in life. And so trying to get out videos on a weekly basis, despite what it sounds like, is a lot more challenging than what it appears out to be. But if you can upload consistently, like what I did over the summer, you can gain a very large audience.
Yeah. And so where were you at the beginning of the summer versus at the end of the summer? Because I saw you grew a lot right there. And then you kind of realized it. The actual view count started coming later on. But can you walk us through that? Yeah.
I think I was at about 113,000 subscribers at the beginning of the summer. And then I closed out the summer at about 130,000 subscribers.
Okay.
So 20,000 over the summer.
And that was your fastest period of growth up to that point, kind of.
Sure,
yeah.
During the month of July, I gained 13,000 subscribers in that 1 month, which was the most I've ever gotten.
You want to tell me how to do it?
It's upload consistently, upload consistent big hits.
Okay.
You got to think big when it comes to your videos. And so a great example was this gaming PC video that I put out 3 weeks ago, I think. It was titled "My Little Brother's New $750 4K Gaming PC." That video right now is sitting at 189,000 views in 2 weeks. and that's a big hit. That's what my audience likes. And then I put out another video week after that was a little bit different. It was called "What's on a 20-Year-Old Motherboard." Unfortunately, the audience grasp of that wasn't too bonding on like the PC build, so it wasn't that crazy successful, but it still gained like 30,000 views in a week.
Yeah.
Whereas my PC build video got 100,000 in a week.
Right.
So really, if I were to just continue putting out big hits every week, that would achieve that 300,000 subscriber 2019 end year goal that I want. But you know, sometimes it always doesn't go the way that you want. Right?
Yeah. So your computer, Zan, you got something?
Yeah. So I got the page up here. It's currently sitting at 169,572 subscribers.
Yeah.
That's 180,000 in our books.
Yeah, and then 170. But first of all, your name's Scatterbolt.
That's my online alias.
Online name.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Ooh, man, that is such a long. There's no origin. I think I just wanted to come up with a really clever Xbox username or something like that no one had.
Yeah.
And so that's just where Scatterbolt came from.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so now you got the, and we'll link the YouTube page definitely in the
Probably
podcast.
put a pop up here.
Yeah.
What do YouTube do? People do?
just-
They go click here and then here and then here.
Yeah. Well, actually, they use cards now.
Yeah,
There's no more annotations because they took that off.
I liked the annotation thing better because I had played around with YouTube like 4 years ago when they had the annotation things, and now they have the cards.
The most popular video you had was hit 1,300,000 views.
What'd you do?
That video was really, even though it was very successful, it wasn't one of my best videos. It was extremely clickbaity, as in that was like a theoretical PC build, so I didn't actually have it on me. But I said, like, if you did want to build this crazy $10,000 computer, this is the parts you would need. And it obviously very clickbaity, the thumbnail, and I mean the like to dislike ratio shows.
Right.
But I mean that's how you. Honestly, I mean, it's kind of like a little precursor to how you get big on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Clickbait.
it's a lot better than the clickbait that trends right now. So
Sure.
I would much rather watch something like that than you know, anybody who's watching this can go to the trending on YouTube.
I do have merchandise.
How'd you get into
Wow.
merchandising?
Oh, I got an email from Teespring and like, hey, you want to sell some merchandise? And I'm like, sure. And just recently, Teespring integrated their platform into YouTube channels, so I connected my Teespring store to my YouTube store. So whenever you're on my channel, you can buy some merch. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're a computer engineering, switching subjects a little bit. You're a computer engineering major. What's the difference for someone like me who, you know, I know a little bit. I know what Python is. I've seen my dad build a computer.
Yeah.
I've read the first couple of pages of C++. The first couple pages, so I know nothing.
Okay.
I read the introduction, and the guys are like pretty smart. But what's the difference between computer engineering and computer science, or is there one?
There's a very easy distinction between the two.
Okay.
Computer engineering is hardware based. Computer science is software based.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So computer scientists focus more on the code, whereas computer engineers focus more on the like components, the machine code.
Okay.
And so there's the distinguish. Oh, well, yeah, there's the difference right there.
So what drew you to engineering versus science?
it's kind of like with my personal belief and where I want to go in life.
Okay.
Is that with computer engineering, I get more of a hands-on experience, you know, with computer parts and stuff like that. Whereas with the computer science, I can just only see myself just coding 9 to 5 every day, which sounds really boring, right? But with computer engineering, it sounds like if I wanted to become like a military engineer and like go on the road and like fix really high-end hardware like in the Middle East, that sounds way cooler than just coding C++ for 9 hours a day or something like that. So that's what primarily got my interest for computer engineering.
Yeah, so not to draw like generalizations, but you're a pretty hands-on guy.
Yeah.
Right? And that, I mean, when did you get into weightlifting? Senior year?
Weightlifting. Ooh, okay. There's a story. Yes.
I remember you came up to me at the gym. You're like, "How long have you been doing this?" And this is when Marc used to be a little small guy. Marc used to be a little small guy.
You can look at my old videos.
You can look at his old videos, and
very skinny.
He came to my. Make sure the sound's off before you look at his old videos.
Yeah, they're off.
That's how we lost a whole bunch of episodes, FYI. But so Marc comes up to me at the gym. He's like, "How long have you been doing this?" And then he started asking, you know, more in-depth questions, you know, questions that I've never been hit with. And I'm like, this guy's thinking about something. And, I mean, if the video is still recording, you can see the difference between me and Marc right now. This guy's huge. So Marc got into bodybuilding.
I'll give some background on that.
Yeah, give us some
background.
But
I think my senior year, second semester, I asked you, like, yo, Winston, how'd you get those quads of yours? Because you had that really nice teardrop. And then you're just talking about them like we were with Brendan Manavong.
Yeah.
And I think I told you, like, give me 1.5 months and I'll get those quads. And I mean, now I most certainly have them.
Yeah, you definitely did it.
That was kind of like the beginning of my lifting career.
Yeah.
So I started lifting during the summer before my senior year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And there, I wasn't extremely dedicated. Like, it was kind of casual lifting. I mean, I was serious about it in a sense, but I didn't really like look into it and invest in it until I would say after all my marching band stuff got done. So about December of 2015.
Yeah, what did you play in the band?
Trombone.
Trombone?
Yep.
How'd you like that?
It's really good. Really fun.
Do you still do it?
No, not right now,
No?
but in the future, when I get done with college, I am going to pick up that trombone because it is a way of expression, you know, kind of like bodybuilding and posing.
Yeah.
So I would like to get back into it because it's just a beautiful instrument.
Pretty much how I am. I'm on the same boat because I played band all the way through high school. I played the saxophone, so I still have it sitting back home, just waiting to get played.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I played viola for a little while.
Okay.
How long's a little while?
I'm artsy.
10 days.
No, I played it from 6th grade through 9th grade. And I went to some camps, so like 4 years. And then, or maybe 5th grade. It may have been 5th grade.
Huh.
Not sure.
Long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then, all right, Marc. So you've done some pretty unique stuff here. I mean, you're 19. You have a YouTube channel that's not like obnoxious, like most 19-year-olds who have YouTube channels.
Sure.
And you have a very good amount of subscribers. How long did it take you to build that up? What's your overall vision in that time period? And how'd you get from 0 to 170,000? And why?
Well, I'll preface this conversation by saying that whenever I started YouTube, it was a much different time.
Right.
So beforehand, I actually had a previous YouTube channel called Scatterable HQ that went from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in about 9 months. And I started that right after I built my first gaming PC, so January of 2013.
Okay.
However, that first channel got closed down for some reason that I don't know why today, but that got closed down in November 2013. And so I was really pissed off because I got to 1,000 subscribers. All these first videos that I made were just gone, and I just started again from scratch.
Okay.
So then December 2013, I created Scattervolt, which is basically the same thing, and I re-uploaded some old videos onto that channel. And from there, I'm like, you know, let's get back to 1,000. So I think I reached 1,000 in about 4 months.
Okay.
So short amount of time. And then from there, just kept on building up. And the key is consistency. So in the year of 2014, I think I got to like 20,000 subscribers, which for 2014, I think that's a pretty good metric, from 0 to 20,000 in under a year. But and then about around the summer of 2015, progress kind of slowed down. I noticed my 2015 year wasn't a great year of growth. And then once 2016 rolled around, especially during the summer, I was like, okay, I'm sitting at about 40-something thousand subscribers. I'm like, I need to start picking things up because I'm seeing these really big tech channels get big, whereas I've been here just as long as they have, and I still am not getting the sort of growth that I want. So 2016 was the year that I kind of like took initiative. I'm like, okay, let's get this channel going, because I was at 40,000.
Yeah.
And so started putting up more videos over the summer, and I hired that video editor of mine. His name is Melly. And so we started like doubling video output. And basically kept on doing that, went into college, tried to upload consistently.
Right.
And then I hit 100,000 subscribers in February of 2017.
Okay.
Which was a very, very proud moment of me.
Did you get your silver play button?
I did. And it's in my apartment right now.
That's very nice. Did you hang it?
Yeah, actually, no, I haven't hanged it yet because I can't hang anything in my apartment. So I just have it sitting on a desk somewhere.
You can hang it in the studio here and give us hopes and dreams. All right.
And then now I'm at 170,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's
the goal?
Yeah. What's like your
ahead?
future?
Ooh,
what's
okay.
your future?
Yes. So
I mean, obviously you have the 300K mark.
So, personally, I know YouTube isn't going to be the ultimate long-lasting career. That's why I'm getting a backup degree in computer engineering.
Mm-hmm.
But my dream is that I'm not a fan of that 9 to 5 computer science, coding on a computer for however long I do, like straight out of college, just get to a working job that requires me to get really stressed out and stuff like that. That's what I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
What I want is to be like my entrepreneurship core that kind of started my YouTube channel, which is like that independency, being your own boss, making your own rules. And so the ultimate vision with my YouTube channel is to ultimately create a PC gaming business. This could be like building gaming computers and such, and basically create a brand.
Yeah.
Because unlike other tech channels, Scattervolt is a brand name, whereas say like Austin Evans isn't that much of a brand because that's a name.
Yeah.
Or like another example would be Jonathan Morrison, which is another big tech creator, but he doesn't really have like a single brand. It's just his name. Whereas Scattervolt, that is a brand name. A lot of people know that name.
Yeah.
And so it'd be really cool one day to make my own gaming computers, brand them, and maybe like if I do make enough money, it would be amazingly awesome because I still have a heart for computer hardware and computer engineering, which would be to maybe one day purchase a really like kind of starting up processor company and start making my own processors and my own graphics cards.
Okay, how many years down the line is that?
That's a good question.
It's pretty.
7 years.
7 years? Okay, where do you see yourself in 5? From
In
this
5?
From this moment right here, 2017. What is it? January 28th, 2018.
Depending on how long YouTube goes.
Okay.
Well over 1 million subscribers. I would say right now where Linus Tech Tips is where I will be maybe x2 if you count extra growth on YouTube with more people watching it. And so honestly, 5 years, that is a very long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if YouTube will still be around. There could be like a new competing platform that'll get along with it. But I see myself selling gaming computers, living this life that I want to live, being financially prosperous, and honestly like living out that dream that I told myself in college. Like, I don't want to work 9 to 5 in a cubicle. Right. I want to be working in my own studio, my own like cool living space. Like, I don't know where yet. California is really cool, but it's expensive as heck.
Yeah.
But I mean, that kind of dream of mine, and maybe like having a nice car because I love cars. I mean, I know my Volvo right now is doing an amazing job, but Aston Martins are so good.
All right. But, yeah, no, there was a couple in my neighborhood in London. They're very nice. They're very nice. Just living around them makes you feel better about yourself.
Oh my gosh.
I'd walk out in the morning. There was a Ferrari and a Tesla that parked directly across the street. Walk down the road. I'm going to the tube station. I passed 3 Aston Martins. I'm like, all right, it's a good day. It's a good day to make some money.
Oh my god.
Today is a good day.
But yeah, just like more like just being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I like being my own boss.
Why?
Rather than working for other people. Well, just kind of being YouTube, right, for so long, I like working for myself. And working for others, I could do, but I just found I'm not that reliable when I work for other people. I can most certainly work. It's just like keeping up with those responsibilities amongst my other responsibilities and, having rules set there already in the first place isn't exactly the sort of workflow that I like, right? So being independent and creating my own rules according to kind of my sort of lifestyle that can also work with others is the sort of kind of like work ethic that I want to be striving for.
Yeah. Okay.
So more like entrepreneurship.
And this is kind of getting into, motivations behind what we do in life.
Yeah.
And that you would say, in order for you to want to do something, you need to assign value to it. Because if you don't see the value in it, there's no end goal. You don't see where it's going. And so I'm very the same way.
Absolutely.
And that, I started this podcast 2 weeks after being, I might want to start a podcast.
Yeah, there, take action.
And that, I saw something. I don't know if it'll work out. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it right now. Mm-hmm. And I can assign value to it because it's my idea and I see where it wants to go. But if somebody approached me and they were like, hey, do you want to start a podcast? I'm going to do everything for you. All you have to do is, be there.
Huh.
I don't know if it'd be the same kind of motivation.
Cause...
And that behind this podcast, I've learned a little bit of Audacity. I've learned a little bit of Voice Meter. I've learned the difference between mics. I've learned there's different mics out there. There's the condenser. There's the one that you use where it spots on.
Yep.
There's the different types of camera. There's the pop filters. There's different types of pop filters. There's different types of arm, whatever these things are. I mean,
so now you're a mini audio expert.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just that's kind of how the way I look at something. And so back when I was at Wilson Coker, I mean, there's things tied into that job that aren't supposed to be tied into that job. And so it's just like we started with social media. It grew into Google Analytics Tag Manager. Do we still use Facebook Pixel?
Not really. Just basic Facebook page.
Yeah.
Pixel wasn't.
We tossed out Facebook Pixel. Facebook advertising doesn't really work out if you're looking at anything over a certain threshold, and that threshold is pretty low. And when you're talking about wealth advisors, because I mean, these are people. If you want to invest, it's $10,000 for one fund, and you need to invest in 25 funds to start. So Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising isn't going to work out for that. The same thing happened when we were at Sterling Bros. When you're looking at, £1 million minimum investment. Nobody's looking for that's 1.3 million US, 1.4 million right now US. Nobody's looking to invest 1.4 million on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so you got to find them in other ways, but I mean, you still have to do that in order to build the whole brand. And so because of that, I'm still learning. I'm still keeping up with the blogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're kind of the same way in that. And I mean, when you got into lifting, you didn't just I'm gonna go to the gym once, twice a week.
No.
You got into,
I had a vision.
You got into
just
dieting.
Like
you got into dieting.
Yep.
I mean, you bought some lifting clothes, some proper lifting clothes. A lot of people don't do that. There's a difference there. I mean, you did that competition last year. You did very well in that.
Yep.
Looked phenomenal. By the way.
Wait, I haven't heard about the competition.
Sure.
I'll
spend a hot minute.
But just like getting off my rant, let's talk about your competition.
Yeah, sure. So with my lifting, after 2 years of lifting, I competed in a natural bodybuilding show that was at my old high school, and I competed in the teen division and the classic physique division, and I won the teen division, but I didn't place in the top 5 of the classic physique division, which that's the division that I really wanted to win.
What's the difference?
So the difference is teen is just for younger people. Classic physique is open to all men of all ages. And so being 18 at the time, or 18 or 19, I just got smoked by all the older dudes. And this was my first show, so I could have been leaner, could have been harder, could have been more full. And there's these guys who've been competing for 20 years, and they look like gods compared to me.
Yeah.
And so I just got my butt kicked. But thanks to that show, I learned so much.
Yeah.
And so next year, when I do plan to compete, I plan to compete in that exact same show, but win the classic physique title. Yeah. And I've made a lot of physique progress since then.
So, were there any specific changes that came out of that competition that you could kind of sum up?
The biggest thing was that I held everything off to the last minute, and that's such a tendency with my workflow. I'll hold off everything to the last minute. I get really stressed out. So that final week, I didn't really kind of prepare what I would need the day of the show, until literally the day before the show.
Yeah, I remember you texted me in IHOP. Yeah, the morning of the show.
Yeah, I know. I got 2 hours of sleep. I should have gone at least 8. So I mean, I learned so much. So next time when I do compete, I'm gonna make sure all the variables are right, so I come in looking amazing. Because I had a lot of cortisol through my system about that, around the time of that show.
What is cortisol?
It's the stress hormone.
Yeah.
Because a few days before, my dogs pooped all over the place, and I was the only one at home because my parents were in Colorado. And on top of that, I was also in summer school, so more stress, and that was calculus 2 as well. So yeah, nasty. So I just had a lot of stress, and that had a really big effect on my physique because I was only taking in 1,400 calories a day,
right?
No carbs.
Yeah.
And I was drinking a lot of water too, so a little bit taxing on my system. So
very taxing on your system.
Yes, but anyways, during that show, I regardless looked the best I could have, so I made the most of it, which was good. I got really lean, but this next show I'm going to be taking on next year, same thing. I want to win it all. I want to make sure everything is right because I learned so much from the last one.
Yeah, and so back to your thought process and how you approach things is you're taking this year off.
Yes. And
that a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that, and they wouldn't have that discipline.
There's I have a friend who he competed the same year I did in an NPC show, so a non-drug tested show, but he was still a natural lifter, and he beat everyone same age as me, and I was just like, holy cow. Yeah. But he's already going to compete again this summer, 6 months later.
Yeah.
And knowing me compared to him, I need more time off to build more high quality, mature muscle. Whereas with him, he's been lifting for a few years more than I have. And so he can afford to do that. But there's a lot of amateurs who, as soon as they start competing, because competing is addictive.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a process. Well, it gives you a goal in that you're hitting the gym every day, 2-3 hours, and you're like, I fucking hate my life.
Yeah.
But like when you step on that stage and you do your shit, like
it feels good.
It feels good. I mean, have you seen the Kai Green video? You know, where he wins? He won like the Arnold Classic or something. And he goes, you know, you're looking at it, and you're in the and you're in the gym, and you're like, oh, I could take this 30 minutes off here. I could skip just one meal here. I may not show up today. But when you get to that stage and you realize all the shit you've done and all the preparation you've gone into it, it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, it's a test. It's a big test.
And I think you're gonna feel that big next year.
Oh hell
because you're sitting out this year. Are you probably gonna go to the show?
The show this year?
Yeah, you're gonna go. Well, you're not gonna compete, but you're gonna go, and so you're gonna see all these. You're gonna see all these motherfuckers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's gonna light a fire in you, and you're gonna know where you need to go, how you're gonna get there, and you're gonna get there, and you're gonna pull it off, and then you're gonna stand on that stage, and you're gonna look back. And I think looking back, like in that moment, I think it's all gonna be worth it. And I don't think there's a better moment in your lifting career until the next one.
Yeah.
Like at that moment, you're at your peak. And I think the type of people who get to peaks look for new peaks.
Yes.
And that when you so you go back next year, you win. You're not done.
Yeah.
You're gonna go back next year. You might go to a bigger show. Year after, you might go to a bigger show, and that you're looking for new heights. You're trying to push yourself and become the best person you can be. And so, where does that come from?
Well, actually, no, that you lead into a really good point that I feel like a lot more people should do. So I think we're all scared to see what we're capable of. So you gave a really good example with bodybuilding shows, and actually that's something I couldn't really fully grasp until like you just said it, and it made so much sense in my head. But that's like seeing what you're capable of. Yeah. Because if you see other people achieve some really big things, then you can do it. It's just the problem is actually seeing it. So with me, my YouTube, I'm here in Arkansas, and all these other huge tech YouTubers are in California. Now, would I want to fly to California to see what I'm capable of? That's up for question because, you know, plane tickets and stuff like that.
You can come visit me in the summer. I'll be there.
Yeah.
It'll be 45 minutes outside Stanford.
But, like, the scary thing is, like, just talking, like, trying to message them over social media. Yeah. Like, these humongous tech influencers with, like, millions of followers. I'm like, hey, would you be up for a collaboration? And, you know, I'd be like, would they say no? Would they say yes? Would they say no? Would they say yes? Yeah. And, you know, it's just that, you know, being scared to see what you're capable of. Right. You know? So, that's just a thing that I feel that a lot of people should, you know, go out of their way, try to see, and just kind of like, you know, help create their vision a little bit better than just trying to make it all in your head and depend on yourself. So actually, with that, it's a really good point.
Yeah, because I mean, you don't know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
I mean, like sitting in 9th grade, did you think you were ever going to be as big as you are? I mean, it
was a vision, right? It
was a vision, but like you didn't know you could actually do it. I mean, you're like, yeah, I could probably do it, but now you've done it.
Yeah, it was very small steps. Yeah. So my original goal was not to like do full on bodybuilding. It was like just to get a 6-pack, like anyone else. And then it was to impress chicks. And then it was to get more serious. And then it was to build more strength.
Everybody gets into bodybuilding to impress chicks. No bodybuilders ever impress chicks.
Low key, that's like the main reason.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I've been there.
It's like baby steps. You know, you can't gas in all the way. Yeah. Just like this podcast. You know, you didn't gas in 100%. Get like a crazy nice studio. Like, you know, you're working your way up.
Soundproof all the walls.
Yeah, we got 6 soundproof panels. $9.95. I'm pretty happy with it. Built a few more.
It's all about those baby steps, right?
Yeah, and that so I'm trying to get a little bit deeper here, and where does that drive for that vision come from? Okay. Because a lot of people don't, like, I don't know if they don't have it or if they don't follow through with it, or you say a lot of people are afraid to see what they're capable of, and I completely agree with you there. But you know why?
So, actually, I do have some theories on this. I think there's 2 main ones.
All right.
The biggest one, I think the most recognizable one that people just know off the top of their heads is fear. Well, actually, I'm going to change it to 3. So, 2 of them are unhealthy if you look at it on a spiritual level, and then one of them is the real healthy reason.
It should be good.
Yeah, so the 2 unhealthy ones, I believe, are fear and jealousy. Yeah. And so, with my bodybuilding, so I got serious after my marching band got finished, but I got extremely, extremely serious when my first girlfriend broke up with me after senior year of high school. and
R.I.P.
that lit a fire that lasted for like a year and a half, where I envisioned in my head every time, one day I'm gonna see her at a pool party and I'm gonna look fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like a god, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, you see me now, but you ditched me in high school when I had like acne, braces, I was skinny, but no, not now. And so, but that's jealousy though.
Yeah, that's jealousy.
And I don't want to say fear, but just jealousy.
Yeah, it's not good.
And it's not good because kind of like last semester, that fire burned out, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it eliminates the need for an overall purpose.
Well, yeah, it's a short-term. What's the word I'm thinking?
Solution.
Short-term solution.
And then the second one, fear. That was whenever I started getting serious about YouTube during the summer of 2016, because I saw these other smaller YouTubers getting bigger and bigger, getting more views than me, and I was getting scared. I'm like, because I mean, one of the hardest things to accept is that you're not perfect, right? There's gonna be people who are better than you. And so whenever you see these people who are getting more views and more subscribers than you, but they're still smaller than you, it creates that fear like they're going to surpass me. You know, it's kind of like a race.
And you can apply that to any aspect of life, really. I mean, you got people, right, who you're sitting here, say for like a finance example, because I know finance, and that, you know, you have people who study their ass off 24/7, and they don't even get a call back for the interview, but some cockhead whose dad happens to work there gets the job.
Yep.
And he doesn't know anything. He doesn't do anything. You know that if you worked for the company, they're losing money on him. You'd make the money because you already have a plan to write it all out. And you have to, in that moment, look there and say, it's going to be all right. And that eventually, you know, I have to look forward. It may not be next year. It may not be the year after. It may not be the year after. But, you know, you're looking at 5, 10, 20 years down the road. If you keep up this habit of studying and learning and being the best person that you can be, eventually you're going to get to where you want to be.
Which leads into the third healthy reason. Well, the real, true healthy reason, I believe, which is not fear, not jealousy, but purpose. Purpose is the real healthy motivation, because purpose actually has a meaning. Jealousy doesn't have a meaning. Fear doesn't have a meaning, but purpose does. And so, I mean, with purpose, it may not come at first, like you said, but maybe it'll come later, and you're like, okay, I see. You know, I was putting you on this earth for this one thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so that in itself is the best motivation, because it never runs out. Well, I mean, until, of course, you've completed your purpose.
Yeah.
But that's a good celebration. That's a good thing. With fear and jealousy, there's no real ending. And yeah, sure, maybe that ultimate vision of me seeing my ex-girlfriend, like, you know, just ooze in myself could be an end goal. But I mean, is that what you really want?
Yeah, because I mean, what happens after that? Let's say, you know, she's in the exact same situation.
Like, you're just gonna snap her off or something and be like, hey, you know, oh, see ya. And then just like, you fly away and you're messing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, what if she doesn't even care? And that, you know, you have to. That's the thing I've been struggling with a lot lately, is that you have to define your own version of success, and everybody else needs to fuck off. And that, I mean, you have, so right, everybody has their own hierarchy. This is getting into a little psychology here. And that, you know, you start at the very bottom, and you define where you want to go, and that's your top goal. And you have to work there in your own self, but nobody's going to have the same hierarchy as you, because nobody's had the same life experience, nobody has the same background, religion, characteristics, same physique, same mindset, same knowledge, anything. And that everybody has to have their own hierarchy. And I think a lot of people try to put themselves in other people's hierarchies, and they see, oh, well, this is how this person defines success, so that's what I need to do, right? And I struggled with that for a long time, you know, with all my rejections from Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. And that was my version of success, is that, all right, I'm going to get the sophomore internship, then I'm going to get a junior internship, and then I'm going to go there, I'm going to be associate, and then I'm going to work my way up to VP, and then what? You know, and then what? And I'm like, well, at that point, I'm probably going to hate my life, be single, and I might have a little bit of money in the bank, but if I did my own business, I'll probably have more money in the bank, putting in that same amount of work ethic. And then I'm like, well, what if I did my own business? And then I looked into it, and I kind of like real estate, and then I happen to stumble into, you know, an SEO kind of job, and then that kind of happens to stumble into a real estate job, and so I kind of get a little bit of background in real estate. I'm like, yeah, I really like this, I could do this. And then so that's where I'm at in California right now, and then I'm going out to start my own business, and it's in real estate, and I mean, it's a big jump, but I may fail, I may be broke, I may be homeless, but
this is what you really want.
Yeah, but in that moment, that's what I want, and I'm striving to get to the top of my own hierarchy, and so in that moment, I know I'm going to be happy. And you can be broke and be happy. You can be rich and be miserable. You can be rich and be happy. You can be broke and be miserable. But it all depends on where you're going and what your purpose is.
Yeah.
And you have to define your own purpose.
Yep. And
if you have other people do it for you, it's just not going to work out well. It may work out well short term, but long term, I mean, you have people, this kind of abstract example, you have people getting into marriages for wrong reasons, right?
I see, yeah.
And so they get divorced later on. And they're taking that short-term gratification. Maybe it's what they thought they wanted in the moment, but I mean, you see them get divorced later on, so it's not what they actually wanted.
Yep.
And I don't think many people sit down and go, what do I want and why?
The why is the hardest part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to work it out.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it for 24 months every single day, and I'm reading books, I'm listening to lectures, and then I have to take what they're saying and apply it to my life. Because if I let them define the goals, then I'm going to get just as lost as I was in the first place. And that's a lot, like, kind of to take in. But you have a why, and that you want to be an entrepreneur and whatnot. And that's, it's not driving your decisions, but it's driving your steps to get to an end goal. And you may not even know what the end goal is yet.
It could be totally different. Just
But-
like your thing with JP Morgan and Saks.
Yeah, but as in you're working your way up, right? And so you're trying to get to the top of your mountain, and you may go over to the right a little bit, you may go over to the left a little bit, you may go up, you may go down. You may just step on a rock, fall all the way back down, but you see the steps to get back up. And I think a lot of people don't even try to go up the mountain.
Because it's scary.
Yeah, it's scary. They have that fear, they have that jealousy, and they see other people on the top of the mountain, and they're like, oh, screw that guy, his dad was rich.
Yeah.
And, screw that guy, he happened to marry somebody else. Screw her, she's way better looking than me. It's like, that's the jealousy. And then you have the fear of, well, what if I try and everybody thinks that I'm a failure? Failure. Yeah. And when you look at purpose, fear and jealousy don't matter.
Yeah.
Because your purpose can't be jealousy based. And if you have your purpose, then you realize that nobody else's opinion matters.
Yep.
And that takes out fear.
Yep.
And I mean, do you have any suggestions for the listeners on how to get to their purpose? Because you've kind of found your purpose.
Man, you know what? That may not even be my real purpose.
Yeah,
right?
I know, but
we ultimately
you're
never
looking
know.
for your purpose. So how do people? Because there's a lot of people who don't even look for their purpose. How do people go? A much simpler question: how do people begin to look at what might possibly be their purpose?
Well, in order to go up, you must go down.
Yeah.
So
true.
I believe in these moments of, like, when you have a really traumatic moment, or you're just really low in life, you're like, what was I here to do? And it's in those moments where, like, it's depression. So you're like, it's like regression almost. Like, you take a look back, you're depressing yourself, and you're like, okay, what can I do? So it's in those moments where you really kind of analyze yourself, and you're like, what do I want to be? And ultimately, God has a path for all of us, but it may not be clear what that path is. It just takes time to figure it out. But really, though, failure, I think, is the easiest supplement to reaching this state, right? Because if you fail and you fail and fail, you learn more and more and more what you want to do and how to achieve it better.
Right.
To actually get it in the end. And so, that's just kind of like, I think, is the way to see your purpose, is to just continually fail and, see what you can do next time and learn.
Yeah. Can you, would you mind mentioning some failures in your own life?
Yeah. Ooh.
I mean, that's really difficult to do, so if you don't want to, don't feel pressured to do it. But
I'm trying to find a good one. There's a lot of times where I failed and I didn't ever, like, get to my goal. Like, I was first chair trombone for 2 years in one ensemble at my high school, and then some guy beat me my final semester there, and so I was third chair and he was first chair, because actually fourth chair beat me as well, which was crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna make all-state, because I tried to make all-state 2 times before, my 10th grade year and my 11th grade year, and I failed both those times.
What's the process to get to All-State?
The process, first you have to place first band in all region.
Okay.
And then you're qualified to compete at All-State.
Okay.
Which is way harder.
Yeah.
And
just so people know, this is not an easy competition here. Our high school had 4,500 students. The band was nationally ranked.
Yeah.
I mean, the band uniforms probably cost more than the basketball uniforms.
Yeah. And you know what the crazy thing is? My senior year, I technically made it, but I was first alternate. So I didn't actually make a band. I was just first in line if someone couldn't make it.
Okay.
And unfortunately, no one dropped.
Right.
So I never got to go to All-State. And so there was a failure there, in a sense. So I never actually made it.
Yeah.
And even crazier, and this is going to really hit you hard, but in FBLA, 10th grade year, I went to Nationals in Nashville, Tennessee. Had a good shot at making it, didn't make it.
Yeah.
And then next year, got first at All-State FBLA in for our website. No, for I forgot. It was video making or something like that. And at Nationals, we didn't make it to the finals.
Okay.
And then my senior year, I'm like, okay, all the cards, they're coming together. I'm ready for this. I was in e-business, and I poured my heart and soul into this website. I got third at All-State, and so luckily I was qualified for Nationals, but that was a humongous wake-up call.
Yeah.
And so
Because you're coming back as the defending champion.
Yeah, in a sense.
Yeah.
So I went all out on this website. It was perfect. My roommates, when I was at Atlanta, Georgia for that conference, allowed me to rehearse my speech at least 25 times in the hotel room. Wow. And they are so cool for that. And so I had it perfect, and like there's a time limit and all that. So it was literally perfect. I went into the prejudging room, and I mean, it was like a convention room, so there weren't actually like rooms to judge for finals. It was kind of like in like a cubicle in a sense, but with curtains and such.
Yeah.
So it was kind of loud, but I mean, I was going ham. I was using hand motions and all that. It literally went perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm making finals this year for sure. I got the call at 1 a.m. that I didn't make it, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know? And that was 3 attempts to make All-State, 3 attempts to make FBLA Nationals finals, and step on that stage in front of 10,000 people. None of those things happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people were betting on me because they know my work ethic. But, I mean, it's because of failures that you get to where you are now.
Right.
And then you look at me now. Still making failures, but...
Well, I mean, how much did you learn from those experiences?
A lot. Like, if you want it, you got to get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, what can you pull out one thing in particular that you learned through that process of building that e-commerce website that you're still using today that you may not even know have worked, but if you didn't work your ass off on it, you would never learned it?
Yeah, it was, you got to put your heart and soul into things you really want.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what I did for certain videos and for my bodybuilding competition. You know? And I turned out pretty semi-successful with my bodybuilding competition. You know, I won the teen division, didn't get the classic physique division, so that was a win and a failure.
Yeah.
And then with YouTube, right, there's so much feedback and criticism from viewers and comments, and I always take that and I apply that to the next video. And, you know, now I'm here with 170,000 on my way to 200,000, and my latest video, well, no, that PC build video that I put out at the beginning of this year, it's nearing 200,000 views.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you gotta fail a lot, a whole lot. And I feel like, you know what, and the crazy thing is that with all of us, I feel like we focus a lot more on our failures than our successes.
Yeah, well, I think
You know,
a lot of people let them hold them back.
Yeah, and you know, you kind of need to like step back and just look at how much you've done. You know, and some of us, we're just so focused on our failures that we just can't really see like what got us there, which is all those failures in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, if you didn't, I mean, let's say you go through, you place at All-State, you get first chair at All-State, somebody offers you a band scholarship to go to like Michigan or something, and then you're at Michigan now, and you're not at Arkansas, and let's say you drop your YouTube channel because you're doing band 24/7, and you know what? If you didn't fail there, you may not be where you are now, and that you're finding value where you are now, and you're applying it to the future.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're fighting an uphill battle, right? On this mountain, you got people shooting down at you because they're trying to get up their mountain. But let's say they've hopped over to your mountain to stop you so that their mountain can be easier. Maybe you have a technology or something that allows you to get up the mountain earlier, or you have a connection or something like that, and they're trying to take that away from you. And so you're fighting an uphill battle, but sometimes when you lose, you win. And that, right? So you may have somebody shooting down at you from the top. You have to retreat, but when you see a retreat, you can go flank them from the side.
Yeah.
And this isn't necessarily a person. It may be a problem. It may be an issue. You have no clue what it be. It may be YouTube. And that when you fail, you see other ways. You're forced to find. You're forced to do one of two things.
Forced to change.
You either give up and you walk back down the mountain like a sad piece of shit, or you find another way to go at it again.
Yeah.
And just because you go out again doesn't mean the next time you won't walk down the mountain like a sad piece of shit, because it may be impossible. But through those different ways of finding the different ways to attack it, you're going to find one that works eventually. And it may take you a year, it may take you 10 years, but you're going to find one that works, and that's really all you need to make it in this life. I mean, you make one good decision, you happen to stumble into I mean, the guys who made Snapchat, right?
Yeah.
They had a $3 billion offer on the table. They didn't want it. All right, so we can't judge them for that because they didn't want it. That wasn't their purpose. But I'm sure they had a shit ton of failures before Snapchat.
Oh yeah, like isn't I think like motivational people say like for every one success I had like 10 failures or something like that.
Yeah.
And you look at them. I mean, if you're not them, you just look at their successes. Like I think no, I saw something by The Rock. I think he was in Vancouver, Canada, and he wanted to play for like the NFL or something like that.
He wanted to play for
the Canadian...
NFL. He played for the CFL, and he
Yeah.
never made it to the NFL
He never
because he
made
got
it.
hurt.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And he was like like at ground zero, and just like what we were talking about, he observed himself. He's like, what can I do? And then he went to the WWE, and now he's stupid successful.
Yeah, he's stupid rich too. And I mean, imagine if let's say he played in the NFL, he had nowhere near the amount of money, nowhere near the amount of influence. Nobody even may have known who he was.
Yep.
And I mean, Schwarzenegger is a lot like that
Oh,
too.
yeah.
He
He
came
is-
to America. They're like, oh, you'll never be in acting.
He's the god.
You're too big. Your accent sucks. He took accent reduction classes,
Yeah.
right? And so what does he say? He said he slept 6 hours a week, or 6 hours a day, worked out like 6 hours a day, took acting classes 6 hours a day, and took speech classes 6 hours a day. And he found his purpose though.
Yeah.
And so he moved from
He found multiple purposes.
but he moved from Austria. Was it Austria?
Yeah, at a young age.
To pursue that purpose, and that you have to take jumps. And if you don't take jumps, the opportunity is gone.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a lot of people don't take the jumps.
And just the crazy thing is that Arnold, he went from like just a 18-year-old guy from Austria. Joe Weider approached him. He's like, you got a nice body, and this is like the 60s. And then he comes over to America, starts working out, gets into real estate, and then after that becomes an amateur movie star. And then hits huge with Terminator, and then just writes that out, creates his own bodybuilding convention, and then becomes governor of California.
Yeah.
And now is making all these initiatives and all these programs to help out society and such.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, who would imagine just some kid from Austria?
I know.
His dad was a
And
cop.
The thing is that he had a vision.
His
He
dad
had
was
a
a
dream.
cop in Austria, right? His seedling is now one of the most powerful people, or was at least at some point the most powerful person in the world. And that, I mean, back in Arnold's heyday, if he wanted something done, it happened. And nobody can ever take that away from him.
Yeah.
And I mean, still the Arnold Classics, a lot of people
They like that show
would
better
rather,
than the Olympia.
yeah, a lot more people probably attend the Arnold Classic than the Olympia. I mean, Kai Green's never won the Olympia. He's won the Arnold Classic, though. Nobody can take that away from him, and I would say it's just as good. Of course, I mean, I'm nowhere near that level, so, but I mean, if it's, he did it his way.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra song.
Oh, I know that song.
If it's not copyrighted, I might play it in the outro.
Yeah, you could play. I mean, it like an
And,
hour-long podcast.
yeah.
It probably won't get picked up.
Maybe, probably not. All right, so wrapping up here a little bit, we're definitely gonna have to have you back on.
Okay, sure.
What's like a composite of your experience that you feel would help other people?
A composite, so like a take-home message.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a 5-10 minute spiel, but just what do you think that okay, so you've done a lot of what separates you from other people, and it's not saying that you're better than other people, it's being honest. And that's something I noticed the other day, is that telling the truth is not very popular right now. And that right, you see a whole bunch of fat people, if you tell them they're fat, you're somehow like Satan or something, but like, sorry bro, you're fat. Like, it's a fact, right? And that you put a lot of effort into this YouTube channel, that's a fact. No one can take that away from you. And if someone else put in that same amount of effort, they may be in the same place. They may not be, but if they put in that much effort into anything, they would be a lot better than their shithole life right now. And so what kind of is the driving motivation behind that?
Like, I just dream a lot. I'm dreaming all these things, and you can make those things happen. You know, it just all depends on if you want it or not. There's no special trick. You just got to do it. And, you know, I fail with that all the time. You know, like, if I really want something, I'm going to have to work towards it. I can't take weekends off. If I really want it, I got to make efforts. I got to make moves. The second I think about that, I got to make a physical response.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just dreaming, you know?
And so, is there, I mean, I've been trying to figure it out, but is there a method behind dreaming?
There is none.
There is none? You just have to do it?
You know, it's just like, if you want it, man, you go get, like, you know, you just see something that, like, you're like, I mean, sure, there's inspirations. You know, that's a big part of it. But, like, when I was really, really young, I was, like, dreaming, I want to be muscular when I'm older. But, like, when I got into high school and stuff like that, I was like, oh, am I really going to get muscular? You know, I'm kind of, like, you know, average right now. But, you know, then, like, something just clicks, and you're like, you know, I want it. So then you start doing it.
Yeah, so you go from the fear to purpose.
It wasn't even fear. I wasn't pressured to get into weightlifting.
Yeah.
It was more or less just, like, I guess jealousy, because I saw other guys, right, getting into lifting. I thought they got chicks. And then for YouTube,
Nobody gets chicks, bro. Heads up.
That's right, that's right. But, and then for YouTube, right, like, I was looking at all these, like, Nerf gun Call of Duty videos and all these Let's Play videos when I was really young in high school and in junior high, and I'm like, man, that's cool, you know, it'd be cool one day to have my YouTube channel. And I mean, like, it's kind of like you don't even envision yourself. It's just kind of like, okay. And then, you know, you want it, and then you just kind of go get it. And it's just dreaming. I mean, I daydream a whole lot.
Yeah, same.
So, I mean, and some of those dreams, right, sometimes they'll just click, and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to do it.
And that's the thing, is I think a lot of people, they don't see when they have that opportunity, and they're standing on the edge of the cliff, if you're at the cliff store, and they don't jump. Right?
Yeah, just gotta boom. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at right now, just boom.
Yeah, have you heard the prisoner of war story with the
No.
major?
No.
Alright, it's gonna blow your mind, right? So there's a prisoner of war. I have no clue the army rankings, so I'm gonna say a major. Maybe he's a sergeant or something. He goes into this guy's cell. He's like, hey, we're moving out. You can either leave this room right now, or in the next 6 hours. It's like midnight, and I have no clue what happens to you when you go out that door. And I can't make you any promises, but I can say this, that if you're here at 6 a.m., we're shooting you and we're moving on. They come back 6 a.m., the prisoner's sitting there. They shoot him, they move on. And that the prisoner took what he knew would happen, because he had no clue what's outside that door.
Yeah.
Right, for all he knows, he's just going to get shot when he walks out the door. But the major, his secretary, asked him, what's outside that door? Nothing. It's just an empty field. It's just freedom. It's whatever you want it to be. It doesn't matter. The point was, he didn't take the chance.
Yeah.
And because he didn't take the chance, he got the outcome that he knew was going to be there. And I think a lot of people see that, and they see, all right, well,
They let opportunities fly by.
yeah, and they're like, I know I have an opportunity here, but I have no clue what's going to happen. I have no clue what other people are going to think about me. I have no clue what my mom's going to think, what my dad's going to think, what my friends are going to think. I have no clue if anybody's going to talk to me next year.
20 seconds of courage.
I may go broke, and by this point, it's all basically already gone. The opportunity's basically already gone. So they take that certain death. And that, I mean, you can go through life, you can walk through high school, you can have a very happy life and make like $40K the rest of your life. More power to you if that's what you want to do. But that's not what 99% of people want to do, yet it's what 99% of people end up doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of something that I'm trying to address, at least with myself. And that's part of the reason I have this podcast, that I can find other things and see what I want to do.
See, the thing is, I think I heard this quote, but there's going to be like 10 times in your life, out of your like 100-year existence, there's only going to be 10 times where you're going to be given something that's going to be life-changing. And it's up to you if you want it or not. It can come in any form. Like, for example, like my mom, right, how she met my dad is pretty outstanding, because my dad came from another country, didn't know how to speak English really well, and my mom was just like, she was going to be, I think, a chauffeur or something like that for like this trip, and my dad was on that trip. But my mom was like, do I want to really chauffeur this trip or whatever?
Right.
Is that how you pronounce it, chauffeur?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay,
I don't know if you chauffeur, you drive, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I don't care. But yeah, she's like, do I want it? And my grandma was like, you know, you should do it. And she was like, okay. And so she took away a weekend to do that, and that's how she met my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, one shot, right? He's just like, oh, she's cute, and then they just start talking. So like that, you know, life gives you such rare moments. It's just you gotta take them. Because my mom was like, "Do I want to do it?" You know,
yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of
take away a
that go into
weekend.
that.
You know, I mean, like as a college student, I would have been like, "Oh no,"
Yeah.
you know. But no, she was like, "Oh, just I'm gonna do it." And
Yeah.
you know, and that's how I'm here.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's how you're here.
I know. And so like that's the craziest thing. Life gives you such small moments, but they make the most differences if you grasp it.
And it's that if she would have skipped that trip, I bet she would have never thought about it again.
No, I would have been white.
She would have just never. You would have never been here. Nobody would have ever known.
Yeah, I would have been like some white dude from South Dakota. Yeah.
Shout out white dudes from South Dakota. Yeah, but that's just crazy to think about, and that it was just like going on that trip was an insignificant choice at the time.
Yes.
But it completely changed the history of everything forever.
Oh yeah.
And that, I mean, a lot of people see those insignificant things and they slack off a little bit, right? You go back to the Kai Green thing where he's dieting, he's sticking on his nutrition plan. You know, if it says 10 reps, he does 10 reps. He doesn't do 9 and then a half rep. He does 10 full reps. And that at the very end, when you get to your end of life, if you did that 9.5, you're never gonna know what could have happened. But if you do the 10, you know, you put your whole effort into it. And I think people who put their whole effort into it, if they fail, you know, more power to them. Have you read The Arena by Roosevelt?
No.
All right, it's a very long poem.
Roosevelt?
Theodore Teddy.
Okay.
And so basically it's you know, a lot of people are going to try to judge the man in the arena. But he's the one in the arena. He's the one fighting for it. He's the one doing what he sees fit in that moment. And I mean, you can apply that to a lot of sports these days where people go, oh, well, they should have done this or they should have ran this play. But, like, they're in the arena and you're not. And if you want to do something about it, hop in the arena. If not, find your own arena. Because you can't judge them in that moment. They're giving their all. And that's, like, the highest purpose you can have. Is that you're giving your whole effort into something that you believe in for an end goal that you're trying your hardest to achieve. And I mean, there's nothing better than that. And so, I mean, that's basically where it tops off.
Yeah, man.
So it was great to have you on here.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your YouTube? Spell out your YouTube, your social media.
Just
everything.
Type in Scattervolt into YouTube.
And that's SCATTERVOLT. Scattervolt.
Yeah, Scatter and Volt.
Subscribe to this guy. He puts out some really interesting videos. Go look at his transformation if you ever want to get into bodybuilding. He doesn't have any bodybuilding videos up. But look at his first videos. Skip about a year, and get to now.
There you go.
And you can see. I mean, you don't do anything special, right? You diet. I mean, you know what your diet is. You know what your workout plan is, and you do it.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I mean, that's
there's no secret. You just do it.
You said it, and I mean, you know. Weightlifting really in theory is kind of the easiest thing in the world. You show up, you lift this, over time you get better.
Just show up.
And I mean that's basically how anything is in life.
Yep.
So did you do any other social media for Scattervolt?
Oh no, just anything Scattervolt. I got like Twitter, Instagram, everything else connected to my YouTube page.
All right. All right, well, Scattervolt, Marc Aranibar, and that's Lifr Podcast episode 2. Thanks for tuning in. We still haven't figured out an exit for this.
Thank you for listening to the Lifr Podcast. Check out the links below for more information.